Fiancé 23M, has a serious problem. Hello guys, I'm not sure if this is the right place here to talk about my problem. I found out that my fiancé is a pedophile. No, he didn't do something to a child, it's because of a sexual fantasy. I won't tell any details since it's disturbing and I don't want to break the rules on Reddit. He didn't want to accept it and he didn't want to get help either. He changed his mind later but I'm not sure if it's because I would leave him if he doesn't get help. I'm happy for him that he decided to get therapy and I would support him but I'm not sure if I would do that as a fiancé. I just can't forget what he told me and it still disgusts me. I think I want to leave him but at the same time it's hard to do that because he's actually a very good guy and I'm sure he would be a good husband in the future but like I said, I don't know if it still makes sense to continue this relationship or just leave. I hope you guys can help me with his problem because I'm so helpless RN. Thank you. Leave if he doesn't decide to get professional help. I would leave regardless, but hey I'm not you. You do you. Edit. Just saw the CP comment. He has acted on his urges by consuming CP and you need to leave immediately and report this information to the authorities. You need to seriously consider if you are willing to have a life with this man. It will never be safe for you to have children with him. You will not be able to babysit for friends or family. Are these things that you are willing to give up to be with him? Because it's a lot to think about. This man can never be trusted around children and that will impact you as long as you're involved with him. First of all, he's a pedo. You should have left and called the police when he told you he had watched CP. Literal children. Children. He's not, actually a good guy, he's a pedo. If you don't report him, leave. You're basically 1-2 in my eyes if you stay. What the fuck is up with this sub? Please leave. I think most people need to understand that being in a relationship to the point where you're engaged clouds your moral compass at time. It's the reason why so many victims stay with their abusers for so long. Bup. I hope you understand that as well and I hope you have the courage to report your fiancé. If he has the ability to watch CP and be sexually aroused by it. I mean come on, let's be rational here and realize that that is disgusting abnormal behavior. If he's just not telling you as well. It may because he feels secure enough that you are invested enough not to leave. But this is absolutely not normal and he could be a danger and have more victims than you know. I mean if he has watched it. You have to know that is sadistic cause it is always without the consent of the child. Run. I scrolled through the comments and saw the CP admission. Your husband already did something to a child by partaking in viewing that. He willingly viewed and took pleasure in the harm and torment of a child. Please get away. Get far, far away. Maybe I'm judgmental but I don't typically count anyone who has pedophilia thoughts, intentions or actions as a good person. Your call though, you've gotten quite a bit of genuine advice. All I want to say is would you be comfortable potentially raising a family with him? I am going to be blunt. If he has already looked at child porn, you need to run now. Get away from this man. He may not have actively touched a child yet but he's already crossed the line. There is no rationalizing someone who has looked at child porn. None. I am not a black and white person typically but there is no shades of gray here. I want to leave him but at the same time it's hard to do that because he's actually a very good guy and I'm sure he would be a good husband in the future. Oh yeah he's a totally great guy except for that little child rape issue. Woman don't you even hear yourself? I'm sorry but how is this a question? Leave. Nope children are a no-fly zone man facepalming this relationship has 0% potential left in it it's time to leave faster than you came. In my personal opinion no amount of therapy's gonna change the fact you like little kids man shrugging and honestly this guy can die for all I care. Guys I read your comments and I want to thank you all for your help. It was stupid of me to question if I should stay or not. I left him and I know you all said I should report him as well but he said the last time he watched CP was like 3 to 4 years ago and he said he stopped watching it but of course I'm not 100% sure if he's lying to me or not. What if he really stopped watching it and there is no evidence anymore on his PC that he watched it? I just don't know if that would still make sense to report it. Please don't attack me for this comment. This is the first time in my life I have to deal with a problem like this. Leave, leave, leave. If he has consumed CP, you need to leave. Please don't downplay that he masturbated to child porn. Please realize that by doing so he hurt children and got off on their abuse. If you have children with him, he will abuse them. My father was the same way and it messed me up for life. You and your future children deserve safety. He deserves jail time. Think of it this way. Your fiancé watched child abuse. You can help him by running away. Run and don't look back. If he's watched child pornography, or any of that stuff, you need to report him to the police for the sake of all the kids that are involved in these kinds of videos. No market equals no videos. He is the market equals more videos. Look, it's one of those things that if you stay with him and know about what he's done, fantasizes you are not better. You know he is viewing CP. Legally you have to contact the police. How do you know he hasn't acted in it? This is your chance to end the cycle he obviously isn't planning on seeking help for. Next time it might be too late. If you can live with that, then IDK, what's worse, TBH. If he's watching child porn, he's not a good guy. You need to accept that. As everyone else said, you need to report him and leave him. If he watched CP, he has already acted on it and is a criminal. He is definitely going to end up hurting children physically at some point. Child porn is a crime because the children are sexually abused to make it. By watching a child being abused, he is disgusting and a criminal. I do feel for you. Loving someone, wanting kids with them in the future and find this out is incredibly worrying, heartbreaking and shocking. Stay strong and have the strength to report him. Don't have children with this man. Leave him. Notify the police. How are you going to feel if he does something to a kid and you did nothing? I read in a comment that he has possession of material. This is literally the same thing. It's like, I'm a good person. I wanted X dead but didn't kill them. I hired a hitman. Real children are trafficked for the material to get to these people, and just because it isn't the child next door but some other child probably from another country doesn't mean it's less serious. I mean, this is probably why they don't usually tell people. He's actually a very good guy. Does that include or exclude the pedophile thing? Please, for the love of God, report him to the FBI. Even if you don't have any proof, they will look into it. They are the professionals. Please. Your tip could potentially save a child's life. Fiancé at 23? And he has weird sexual fantasies? You are just a kid. You don't know anything about life yet. If you would, you wouldn't have even written this post and left the relationship immediately. Leave, leave, leave. This shouldn't even be a question. Why is this even a question? Dude has some real issues. The fact you're here is verification enough that it doesn't settle well with you. Just imagine what you will be feeling if you ever had kids with him. Or when you're driving past a playground with kids playing. I mean shit. Talk about awkward moment in the car together. He is a good man, lol. Okay. No offense, but I've had the total displeasure of discovering a CP site several years back on the dark web. Let me put it to you this way. Anyone who can watch that shit and jerk off is not a good person. It is some of the most disturbing shit I have ever seen, and that was only the landing page. All I could think was how much pain and suffering these kids have been through. Not hey, let me whip my dick out and whack it. That's just insane to me. He is mentally ill. You want to be with a person that is mentally ill and has attraction to minors. Doesn't that disgust you? Call the FBI. They need to search all of his electronics. This is absolutely disgusting, and obviously you need to end this relationship immediately. Tell one of his family members or make him call and tell them, then get out. You can't fuck with that craziness and you don't want to. He will hurt your kids if you have them or someone else's. These people need monitored. Most of them can't control it and offend then reoffend. I think it's important to note that fantasy and reality are two different things. Many people, male and female, have fantasies about rape. I would imagine the amount of people who would actually want to be raped by someone are much more slim. Did he express interest in actually harming children, or did he have a fantasy that involved a child he had no plans on acting out? Either one is something to be addressed, but if it's the former, for the love of God, do not have children with him. What if he made CP of your future kids? Jesus, leave now. Leave and report him now. What if you guys had a daughter in the future? Do you really want all those thoughts and insecurities and fears while your child is growing up, whether your husband is doing something behind your back or not? You wouldn't even be able to enjoy watching your child grow up because the fear that your husband could do something if he was alone with her. Watch the Steve Wilkos Show on YouTube and tell me that seeing the pain on the faces of the mothers knowing they left their partner alone with their kids and the kids were raped or molested doesn't change your mind. I think I need help too. If you have an ounce of humanity in you, you will dump him and then report him. He may not have physically touched a child yet, but by consuming CP he actively contributed to the harm of children. There are no redeeming qualities possible to cover that. He is not a good man. He will not make a good husband. You cannot spin this in any way that will make anyone think otherwise. You should leave and report your knowledge of him watching CP. And I don't think I've ever responded to something in this sub with, "You should," before. But seriously, you should. Law enforcement can track his CP sources and possibly save children's lives. By not saying anything, you're also complicit in hurting children. You also realize you can't ever have children with this person, right? I feel like the answers as to what you should do should be so obvious to you, but I get you're young and probably think getting married now is a big deal, but this would be an insane mistake. Too long did not read. Leave and report his CP watching. If you are in the UK, PM me. I can send you some links to help for families of offenders of this nature, including forums for those in the same position as you. Inform local police department ASAP. What the fuck? You think you want to leave? What the hell is wrong with you? Get the hell out. Sometimes I feel like these sick posts are the pedos themselves trying to see how people will react. Leave. There's no helping this. This is sick and vile. If you stay with him, you're morally obligated to never have children with this man. Please leave this man and report him. I work in a prison full of child sex offenders. These guys cannot be rehabilitated. Do not have children with a pedophile. I hope you are okay. This is not good. Wholesome. Think about if you had kids with him. How could you ever trust him around your kids knowing what you know? Leave now.